Hey everyone, Zhonos here. Let's jump back in to quest mode. So what should we do? I've heard that there's a king here. Looks like the king of time. Not sure how do we get to it, but ooh. A lot of interesting quests. I want to get over here. And we have the Nomads too. Total Wars bore me for some reason, but we might have to do them. I'm going to do Unification, I guess, for now. United to one. Only then as one we crush the skulls of all kings. That was weird. I guess it's you unite into one. Only then as one we crush. Yeah, it's a haiku. The skulls of all kings. Okay. Yeah, 5, 7, 5. Start with a kingdom filled with troop plots. Start with one unified card. A lot of AoE. A lot of AoE we have to contend with. Something to be aware of. So. What is this? Pillage. Oh, okay. So, do you see the line? We go here. We go there. Why do these start with 26, by the way? Does anyone know? And then... do I even summon a few more imps? I could. So, we should be fine. Yonk. That's how you do it. I have a million sacrifices, so we really low rolled the freaking offering, but whatever. These will be money, I guess. Like we've won already, honestly. I'm going to leave these guys around to be sacrificial pawns. I could do sacrifices here, but I kind of want to get rid of these guys, if anything. I might even sacrifice these guys to low up these plots. I'm just going to sell. Yeah, so... with this many units, it should be pretty easy. It's just king difficulty anyway. Like, this is way too many units. We don't need this many units, honestly. Library might be good later on. We're against bloodstone spells and our own rebellion, right? There aren't a lot of good buff cards, except... what's our attack speed? That's okay. We could use static, I suppose. Offering is best, though. I'll just take the static now, I guess. Honestly, we should just shoot our own guys back here. They're going to be better. And the imps still tank the enemy somehow. That's crazy. So something I'm also considering here is double plot destroying, or not double, but one more plot destroying effect. Do we look for camps? Very tempting. Kind of whiffed. I guess I'll take the warlord level up. Settlement. Ooh, a little too late. Very little, very late. Wishing Well is interesting. We could also take Poison Thorns, which would scale well with our unit count. I'm going to take Wishing Well. Maybe we get something useful out of it. We could even pivot into cemeteries. Because we have the imps on the edges anyway. Yeah, maybe we pivot to cemeteries. We did save a clone as well. I hate when your own freaking castle, as it were, your base gets in the way. So annoying. Yeah, this is an easy quest, super easy. As long as you have the same starting cards every time, which seems to be pretty common, it's very easy to win. Yeah, let me level up the stupid warlord so he stops showing up. And then I guess we can unlock this plot here. So yeah, these guys concern me. But at least we have like a second life because every time they kill something, we'll spawn imps. But more importantly, we're shooting our own warlords, so looks like we do tank them just fine. This is mildly concerning. I could get poison. Oh. So I don't want to sell anything here. I would love to get the rainbow card sold. So I'm looking for... I guess I could use Earthworks. There it is. So we'll do this with Earthworks. We'll create a second cemetery because we have pillage. And then I want to well the rainbow card here. Gigantify would be obviously an instant win. There's actually a lot of things we could get that would be funny. Not necessary, obviously, but you know, funny at the very least. Oh, side note, I'm pretty annoyed at my mic cutting out all the time. I don't know what was causing that in my previous video back when which video was that? That was the Trapper Curse video. I don't know what was causing that. It's not a common occurrence, but does seem to happen every once in a while. So now I've got to keep my eye on the meter. Oh, there we go. Gigantify. Yep. Well, if it wasn't obvious, we've definitely won now. Okay. Well, we'll just auto this. Yeah, but sure. Buff the little imps because they are obviously vital to our success here. We're at 3 Giganifies and we're only at 550, 240. It doesn't matter though. Yeah, I'll take another cemetery. Doesn't matter because all those Giganifies are passing along to the imps as well. And this is king difficulty. We really don't need to worry about... Like, 1,000 health is more than enough, especially at this unit count. Nothing should be hitting for 1,000, like, ever in king that I know of. So we're safe to sell. Something to consider. Cauldron I was actually eyeing to put, like, here for the cemetery imps. I'll just get the this other cemetery, I guess. Towers and base of here. I've never checked. Does Corey apply to these guys? Kind of want to see. Let's find out. It does. Okay, good. And these count as towers, apparently. Well, good to know. Side note, in case anything goes weird with my mic, I'm testing a setting where I have a second... Ooh, offering, nice. I have a second, what do you call it? A second channel where I'm recording my microphone with no settings onto it. So then I could check if it's like hardware or some other software, but not directly related to OBS. So I'm super tempted to just get rid of Corey. Am I crazy? Let me copy it and then I'm going to offering it away. So I like these imps being here. They're helpful. Migration's not super necessary. I'm going to do this into a... Yeah, so we can get 2 quarries. And then I'm going to drop these 2 here so that all the imps get it. And also, the Warlord is obviously the best unit that we have right now. And then I'm going to do a quarry here and a quarry here. I don't even need to think. Like we won 10 years ago. Yeah, this is a pretty easy quest. A fun quest, though. Carnage, but these guys are never dying. That's a funny thing. Poison thorns, sure. Yeah, I never used Quarry with Warlords. That's good to confirm that. I mean, it does say base. It better. But we verified that it does indeed work. Okay, another offering. I can't help myself. Oh, that was worth it. Look at that. We're just going to multiply our quarries. I could even set up like room for migration shenanigans, although it's not super necessary. Yeah, it's not. And we'll just do that. And who else can level? I can level a quarry, I guess. I could even do a sacrifice if I wanted. It is technically better. Not like these imps need the power, but these both being level 3. Because remember, we have pillage. So we gain a ton of levels. That's probably why this setup also has a lot of viable outs. You could also do... I don't want to use any of them out, actually. It's like sacrifice is really good because it gives you 2 level ups. Not like we need any more power. I want to see these quests released in like a new game plus where you could set to multi-king 9 or something. That'd be cool. Am I crazy? What does everyone else think? Should there be a should they make quest mode where you can do like king 9 instead of just king difficulty? I don't think king 9 would be fun at all, but I think king 9 would be interesting. We don't really care about the tiles. I'll just level this up. So after this quest, I guess we'll see what else Nomad Rebellion has. Or not Nomad Rebellion, just Nomad. King of Nomad has, but this was a nice first quest. I rather liked it. Rainbow Army. We don't even need you anymore, Rainbow Army. We're good. We're very strong already. So... we could showcase Osmosis. It's kind of fun. So, you know, the funny thing, we could do it here, but I think it's actually just as good to do it on the Warlord because it'll pass to all these imps anyway. Yeah, cemetery. The imps that spawn from the cemeteries specifically. Yeah, they can't even get through my imp front line, the normal imps. Because of how the warlords work. Because they're shooting all of my imps with 800 health. Yep. Easy. Easy win. Catharsis is really, really funny. Highly unnecessary, but really funny. So now all my imps hit for 858 damage. Not like they need it. And they also get another 1,000. At least this round, it's going to be higher because of the quarries. So that's why you're seeing 4,000 and so on and so forth in the damage numbers. Fine, we'll just take vampirism, whatever. Does anyone know how much vampirism is doing? I don't think it's doing very much. As an enchantment. On my tier list, I just didn't know where to put it. So it's in the bottom of C tier. Is it? Is vampirism actually good and I'm just sleeping on it? Somehow I don't think so because everything gets one shot in this game at high difficulties. But Maybe I'm just not creative enough. I wish we could see more stats, more data. Like a DPS meter. I really would like a DPS meter. DPS, healing, damage taken meter. That would be amazing. Wow, they actually killed warlords. You see the big imps? Those are because warlords were taken out. I guess right at the end in King difficulty, things get... Well, okay, they're not individually doing 1,000, but if like 30 ballista all shoot the same thing, it's going to take more than 1,000 damage. I guess my statement earlier wasn't like 100% accurate. Technically, nothing shoots for like 1,000 that I know of. But a bunch of AoE would technically deal more than that. I kind of misplayed here. I should have... Well, whatever. That's actually not a big deal. I was thinking of using the sacrifice, but meh. It's not like we need it. Oof. Yeah. This was easy. But let's see. What other quests does King of Nomads have for us? Let's find out. Next quest. That was fun. I like that one. It was a bit of a puzzle. It's bait. Do not unify the central imp. That's bait. Do what I did. Oh, weird. It spawned another King of Spells quest. Okay. Caravan. What's this one? Nomads Revolt. Meh. Does this go anywhere? Somehow, I don't think this goes very far. Just like this. This doesn't look like it goes anywhere. So I'm going to go over here. So we have to do Nomads Revolt. Rebellion is vain. 5. We will stomp their thinned ranks. 7. Bones break beneath hooves. Alright, let's fight the rebellion. Haikus make way more sense in Japanese. Can I just say that? Because letters in Japanese, the characters that you use to write, called hiragana, those are all like vowel consonant pairs. In a sense, if you were to break it down into letters again. So every single like written letter, if you spell it out and not use kanji, those are all syllables. So, and even like vowel chains would be distinct syllables in that sense. So 5, 7, 5, there's only 5 characters and then 7 characters and then 5 characters if you were to use the letters. Okay, enough yapping. Let's do the mob in the middle, I guess. The boring thing about the rebellions and sort of the Total Wars is that it's just a normal game at King difficulty, really. So shields would have been best. Camp is tempting. I think I'm going to take camp, and I'm actually going to buff the warlords because they're the ones that actually matter. No offense, mobs. I love you. Love you, but you don't matter. You're there to be fodder. It kind of sucks not getting starting troops. So, like, I would want raptors to buff the mob count. Although the funny thing is they'd all be riding raptors the whole time. And more camps would be great. And I don't want to level up the warlords before doing flat bonuses like swords, but I also don't want to do... I don't want to... I guess I'll take the warlord, but then I'll just hold on to him. What's my blessing here? We'll just take the gold. That's fine. Dragon's Den is horrible. That's sell worthy. So I'm going to put the swords on these guys, I guess. I want to do a bunch of flat boosts to my warlords. And then we'll level them up. Because flat boosts, so like just adding a number as opposed to multiplying by a number. Flat boosts are very, very, very... where's my shields? Are very, very good until you reach the percentage. And since by default these are the same number, basically when your units have 100 health, shields will no longer give flat health. And when you have, what would it be? 100% again, right? 5 damage or 5%. Yeah, so when you have 100 of either stat, at that point, you'll no longer get flat amount. You'll get percents. Okay, so I guess I could... No, you don't have to sell anymore for the Royal Council. That used to be a thing to make sure you could get an extra reroll. But I actually don't need to. Because the Royal Council is 1 year later, so we always break 30 gold by the time we get to the Royal Council. I really don't have to run another camp. I'm really behind on power. What is this? Oh my goodness. We're getting wrecked. Pillage. Pillage is not ideal. It's not bad though. It would scale well with migration, but we're not going to be able to run migration easily. I think diversification is like at least easier to play with. I'm going to level the Warlord once. It doesn't make me happy, but we need power. We almost lost that fight. So I'm going to focus shooting these Warlords. And like, yeah, we're fine. Because the AI always focuses the, like, in this line, they focus if there's a line right here, they always focus towards the top right, and as opposed to the bottom left. Wow, why do I still get kind of weak options? So Raptors are what I'm looking for here. I think Raptors are going to be a big carry. Funny thing is they're going to steal a lot of my mobs, but that's fine. Hopefully my guys are tanky enough now. Ooh, we might lose. Looking close. Okay, we're okay. We did overcome somehow. Oh, such kind of scary. So shields would be huge, but I'm also thinking more Raptors just might sort of help me out a little bit. They're not that good, but I really need the mob unit to grow. I just realized, you know, just this faction without other factions is kind of iffy because and I don't have to declare against an enemy, right? So the Raptors always steal the mob units, so you're getting the stats of the Raptors, but you're never going to get the Raptors as a separate unit to benefit from the Warlord arrows. So actually there's some anti-synergy with mob and Raptor. I mean, the mob grows in their unit count when you put down Raptors, so it kind of evens out, I guess, but so shields better. The sooner I put shields down, the better camps will be too. Something to keep in mind. I'm going to take shields. Rewind is nice. Work rate is amazing. Rewind would be good if I thought I could get to the Rainbow Army. The Rainbow Army is like over here somewhere. Assuming this is the new year variation, which it should be because of the year 5 council. It's definitely going to be Warlords. Then I'm going to procreate here, though. I'm not going to pretend it's not going to be the Warlords. Warlords are my carry. Might shoot the mobs a little bit so they could tank. But it's going to be more shields. I'm just going to really empower my Warlords as much as possible. Shoot these guys a little bit. If they have too few units, I'm going to go back to the Warlords. One thing you should know that I'm pretty sure is how it works. Like 99% sure. So when these starting stats are the only amount of stats that I can provide my units. So even though I'm empowering these Warlords a bunch, they're not going to exponentially increase in stats. They're just going to... So, like, if I shoot them a bunch and then they have 1,000 health, I won't then start shooting units for 1,000. It'll only lock the stat bonus at the start of the round. Which is another reason why I want to just pump the Warlords full of shields and whatnot. Okay, so we need to spend gold here so we can get better value from our prophecy. We might lose this one. This is looking a little spooky. Yeah, we should be okay though. It's gonna be close. Yeah, we're okay. That's kind of terrifying. But there's not a lot of ways to get a lot of power right now. So I could level the mob. It wouldn't do too much for me though. I didn't get a raptor in this set either. I do have the warlord level up, but I don't really want to go there. Another thing I could start doing, I don't have enough warlords though, but I could migration these guys. Ideally I want a migration here though. Should I do camp? This is really kind of spooking me out a little bit. I'm gonna do shields. Oh, I didn't spend. I was supposed to spend my money. Man, this is hard. Nomads are not that good, by the way. I don't know if you know this. As a faction. By the way, the reason why they're not going from the top left to the bottom right in this case, or top right to the bottom left in that particular case, is because my units walk forward unevenly. So all things being even, they will bully the top right units, but because the warlords were walking up, they were closer, so they became the new priority targets. Do I stop being greedy and just level up the warlord? I might. I'm gonna take the camp and level up the warlord, I think, just to get some more power right now. We really need a good policy to like feast. Feast would be good. I don't know what else would be really powerful here other than feast. We'd still be lacking damage though, but we can maybe survive until the next policy year, the next Royal Council, and get something like Thorns, which is also kind of embarrassing to say. We might need that. I'll take the Raptor. I'm just going to take Feast without even thinking twice. Put in the camp town. And now I could be a little more leisurely and consider... now that I have... We're going to get the tower event, which will let me unlock the plot behind the warlords. And then with that, I can set up some migration spam. So yeah, I can migrate back and forth here, and that'll give me a ton of units for the mob. So I'm going to take migrations now. I'm just going to start setting them up. I will put the Raptor down first, obviously, to get more units on the field and get a little more stats to my warlords. Here we go. And we're just going to focus warlords right now. This might be the year I finally lose a life. We'll see. Enemy has a ton of damage, but... yeah, it looks like we're okay. Okay, I'm going to take another migration. We should get the tower event. And then from here on out, I'm just going to go back and forth between these two tiles. You see all the stat boosts we get? Because we have... oh, we don't have pillage. Still. We're going to get a ton of mob units whenever we do this. And we're going to get 10% attack and health on our warlords as well. Every time we use it, which is really nice. Every year is so sus. This is why I don't like King of Nomads with their own units. They're okay. They're not as bad as King of Time with their own units. But it does feel like it's really frustrating trying to use Nomads with their own resources. It all ends up being a like a base build. Wow, are we losing this year? There's no way, right? Yeah, no. The camps will help us a lot because we need the attack speed. We need a lot more damage as well. I think the strat is to keep migrating though, because I don't know if you noticed, but the mob is gaining 21 units now every time I come back here. So every 2 turns. So every turn I'm averaging, 10.5 units on the mob, which isn't a lot, but it's a nice distraction. Well, I can buff up the core of my warlords. This is getting scarier and scarier, I swear. This is a tough quest. I'm gonna be real. I never liked the perkless King of Nomads. King difficulty. I never really did perkless, I'm gonna be real, but when I first played King of Nomads, they were frustrating. So we could, by the way, level up the camps. I think I'm going to wait till the merchants to worry about that, though. I'm just going to keep spamming this to give us more power to our mobs. And the 10% stats, of course, to our warlords. There will come a time where I would rather be hitting the mobs because they have more units. Like if there's 100 mob units, then I would want to shoot the mobs because I'd be transferring more total stats. But the mobs are just, they don't have enough units and they're usually a little bit too spread out still to make it worth it. Currently. Okay, so we're at the store. I'm going to get a camp here instead. Ooh, ogre is kind of funny. A little too late though. I'm going to reroll the can I buy and then reroll? I can, I bet. I'm going to reroll. Of course, it's buildings. So cemetery is actually okay here. Is it cemetery? And then we can utilize the mob better. We also, actually, the warlords have a bunch of shields and swords on them. Cemetery might be better for this guy, actually. I could buy a card and then reroll. That'd be 50. And then it'd be 45, so it'd be 95. So I could buy one more card if I did this and rerolled. Or I can do these two. Problem is I'd probably just cemetery here anyway, even if I did use the cemetery. I'm going to do this. There we go. Offering. And then we hopefully can escalate from there. I was hoping for a steel coat, by the way. But that's okay. Okay, so. Dragon's Den. Well, no. We'll level up the camp here. Dragon's Den. Offering. Regression's really good. I can level up the Warlord again. I can also contemplate a sacrifice here. I could even sacrifice here, but that seems like a waste. I think we do this to give them more units. And then we keep doing the migration thing. And in the meantime, I'm going to drop this here. And I'm going to regression the warlords. So now I'm going to start hitting the mob because there's a ton of units. So it's actually better value. And then the mob, when they die, they'll spawn imps. And then we'll be targeting the imps as well. Oh, I didn't hit the other migration. That's unfortunate. So now I'm thinking of... I could take one copy of Frost, put it on these guys. See, I'm just going to start shooting the mob, honestly. The biggest clump of mob units. There's a ton of them now, so... And then when they die, they'll spawn imps, and I could power the imps as well. They'll only be gaining, like, 300 health. That's actually a lot. 300 health and 40 damage. That's actually not bad. I say only, but it is. It is actually a decent number. Could even put camps here, but is that really necessary? Not really. Not at this point. I could level the mob. I could level the raptors. I'll take the camp. Catharsis is pretty good. It's not a ton, but it's just a bunch of damage. And I don't have a lot of re-rolling power. I'm going to take Catharsis. And we're going to put the camps around here and buff this as well along the way and get those stats as well, obviously. Yeah, with that Catharsis, we should have a lot of damage. I mean, it's not necessary because the Warlords will literally give them that damage immediately on the first volley. But now it'll be double. Double, triple, quadruple. Okay, we're already on this path. I'm going to take the other camp here and just fill out this field. And then I'll start doing migrations again. Oh, you see the attack speed? The base. The Warlords are shooting their buff arrow faster as well. Thanks to these camps. That's why you really do want camps. When you're doing the Warlord build. They really benefit from attack speed because that just accelerates your buffing power, I guess you could say. Which you could look at this arrow as kind of like a heal, a pseudo heal as well, except it's better. It's like over healing. And it just pumps their DPS, obviously. And jump back. By the way, we won at this point, obviously. This is not too difficult to win. I might lose if I turn on auto, though. I don't know if I trust the Warlords to target correctly. It is possible for them to screw it up and not target correctly. Let's try it. I'm going to show you. So they still sort of, because the mob unit has just a bunch of units, but they target like the closest to them, roughly speaking. They might have changed the AI for the Warlords, actually. Can they do this AI for the castle, please? Yeah, look. Normally, if it's a castle, it'll like target the enemy like closest to the base. But here it's actually kind of smart. Okay, Warlords. I didn't give you credit. Also, you notice the mob now is 141 units, and it's about to get another 30. and if we level up the Warlord, which maybe I'll just do right now. If I level up the Warlords, they'll have even more units. I mean, not a ton, but like, look. So now they have 33. That wasn't worth it for unit count, obviously. But it might be worth it for the 25% to several stats, 20-25% stats. Migration. Frostbite. Really? Is this what you're giving me? Frostbite? Overwork is also no good. Increase attack. That's probably the best, but I'm feeling greedy. I want something better. Come on. Fine, Poison Thorns, whatever. Poison Thorns scales insanely well, by the way, with this high unit count that we have. And the Nomads faction has pretty high attack speed as well. Okay, more migration. Well, we definitely won from here. Have you played the quest mode? Have you gotten to here yet? I've been really slow about the quest mode. And I'm going to be abusing the fact that I need to prepare several videos ahead of time. So I'm going to be, as you may know... Oh, no migration. Boring. I'll level the mob, but it's not going to be good. So yeah, because I'll be going over seas back to America for a little under a week, actually. I'll only be there for 4 days, but I'll be in transit. I'll be away from home for about a week. I have a lot of really bad layovers. Do I have time to go back again? Let's not do any more migrations. Let's just Empower our cards just that little bit more. The Raptor. 15%. Oh, it's so bad. Mob units get like some of the lowest stat on level up, ignoring rats, which are special because they have no limit to levels and they're meant to level like tens of thousands of times. Ignoring rats, like that's some of the lowest stats you could possibly get. It's kind of pathetic. Take shields. Just throw it on these guys, because why not? Just give them a little bit extra beef to help with cemeteries. Not like it matters. Let's go. But yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing on quest mode? Have you gotten all of them unlocked? Have you completed everything? I obviously have not. Oh, we're getting a slightly countered, by the way, but we're okay. That guy's really tough, actually, against the Nomad faction. The champion, the Godzilla. Well, okay, that was Nomads Revolt. Kind of your basic king difficulty quest. What is this? Battle camp. Here we go. Now we get another fun one. But that'll be for next episode. Oh, by the way, I secretly completed Spired. Or was it? Yeah. It was Spired. I did this off camera. I wasn't gonna let it get one over me. Either way, I think we'll end the episode there. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.